Hey people, Jose here, and I'm making this video to talk a bit about the upcoming and recently announced Marvel game by Firaxis, Marvel Midnight Suns. The main reason I want to make this video is to talk a bit about my interest in the game and to give a little insight about some of the characters they revealed because I feel like some newer Marvel fans might not recognize them. To showcase a little more about them as far as recent media attention on them, I'll mostly be referencing their recent appearance. So for example, I would like to show picture comparisons of Iron Man, Captain America, and Captain Marvel from the MCU. Also, last thing to mention is I'm not the most knowledgeable of Marvel fans, so most of these thoughts or comparisons will be from a general fan or regular fan, most likely. And also just my own thoughts about it. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so to get to the basics, Midnight Suns was revealed on August 25th, 2001, and it's based on the comics and the group of roughly the same name, Midnight Suns, with an L. The game is made by Firaxis and is published by 2K Games. Many people are comparing this to the XCOM series since not only is Midnight Suns being developed by the creators of XCOM, but Midnight Suns is reported to be a tactical turn-based RPG like XCOM. Now, I haven't played an XCOM game, but I have been interested about it since the XCOM 2 collection was released on the Switch. Just never got around to it. The main story of both the game Midnight Suns and the comic series of Midnight Suns revolve around Lilith, who we do see in the Midnight Suns trailer. Lilith, referred to as Mother of Demons, is being revived and the Avengers seek help in stopping her, looking to fight fire with Hellfire. According to the game description from Steam, the members of the Avengers seek out are the Midnight Suns, who we currently know include Nico Minoru, Blade, Magik, and Ghost Rider. Since these members we know are 4 of the 13 playable characters, the rest that we do know likely are the members of the Avengers, or X-Men if you're Wolverine. These other characters include Iron Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, and Doctor Strange. If you're relatively new to the Marvel Universe or only follow the MCU, then these 4 characters should be known to you already since they've been pretty well established in the MCU. The other names should be well known if you're a Marvel movie fanatic regardless if it's an MCU movie or not, and I'll explain that in a little bit. To start off, I'm going to talk about Wolverine. I don't really know anyone who doesn't know who Wolverine is since he's a huge fan favorite. He was brought to cinematic life by Hugh Jackman in Fox's X-Men series, and the character reached its end in the 2017 film Logan. The character probably never had a bigger media spotlight. Similar to Wolverine and Hugh Jackman, Blade was also brought to cinematic life by Wesley Snipes in the Blade franchise from 1998 to 2004. For those who don't know, Blade is a vampire hunter who is a Dhampir, which means he's a human with vampire strengths and none of their weaknesses. Blade is coming to the MCU eventually and will star Mahershala Ali, which if you've seen the Luke Cage Netflix show, you'll know he played the villain Cottonmouth. Continuing on with Marvel Television is where I'll bring up Nico Minoru, as she was showcased in the Marvel show Runaways. Portrayed by Lyrica Okano, Nico played a pretty massive part in Runaways. She has also been in the group A-Force and can also be known as Sister Grimm. She's a sorceress who uses the Staff of One to bend magic and cast many different spells. This actually is not her first video game appearance. She has notably also been in the LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 game as a Runaways themed DLC pack and the mobile game Marvel Future Fight, which is actually one of the first times I've seen her. Another character in Future Fight who I found out about was Ghost Rider. Now before you probably sound surprised, I'm referring to this version of Ghost Rider, which is Robbie Reyes. And that's the version that we see in Midnight Suns. Most people will probably know of the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, who did have a presence in the film world in 2007, when Nicolas Cage brought the character to life in this movie, as well as in the 2012 sequel. But the Ghost Rider we see for Midnight Suns, Robbie Reyes, has actually also had a media presence in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where he was portrayed by Gabriel Luna. We would have also seen Robbie Reyes' own show on Hulu, but unfortunately it stopped moving forward. So that only leads us to talk about the last character in Midnight Suns, Magik. Now for the general Marvel fan, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't know who she is. A quick mention of her, Magik is a mutant and the young sister of fellow mutant X-Men member Colossus. Believe it or not, Magik actually does, or maybe rather had, a presence in the media, but most people might not know much about it since the film was heavily delayed. And the film I'm talking about is The New Mutants, which is the final movie in Fox's X-Men series. Magik, Illyana Rasputina, was a member of the New Mutants and was portrayed by Anya Taylor-Joy, who probable media fans might recognize from the movie Splitting Glass, as well as the Netflix show The Queen's Gambit. Okay, so now that we have a general idea about all the known characters, I want to briefly talk about my interest in this game. As far as Marvel video games go, I honestly haven't played a lot of them. I think the very first Marvel games I played was Spider-Man 3 for the DS, X-Men Legends, and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer for the PlayStation 2. I have played a little bit of Marvel vs. Capcom, but I think the game I really ended up playing and enjoying that got my interest in Marvel games was the PS4 Spider-Man game as my first actual Marvel game experience. I never finished X-Men Legends because I got stuck at some point, and while I enjoyed Rise of the Silver Surfer, it wouldn't really stick to me like PS4 Spider-Man did. From then on, I've been more into some Marvel video games including Ultimate Alliance 3, the mobile games Future Fight and Puzzle Quest, which I know doesn't really count, and of course Miles Morales for the PS4 and 5. With Midnight Suns being one of my favorite game genres in RPG, including some characters I really like such as Ghost Rider Magic and Nico, and being made by the developers of a game I really wanted to try, this just seems like a no-brainer of a game for me to try. It will likely be a very different experience from the games I played, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably get it on Switch since I like having a collection of games on there, but depending on the situation I'll also likely get it for PlayStation like I've done with Doom Eternal and Mortal Kombat 11. But anyways, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. It seemed to have been longer than I anticipated, but at the same time not really that long. But that's okay. Let me know if you're interested in Midnight Suns. A gameplay video for Midnight Suns will be released on September 1st of this year, so about this Wednesday? Yes, this Wednesday. So I'll definitely check it out. I won't be covering it. But thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Later.